Everyone is talking about ChatGPT, but how this will affect the crypto space? That's the big question, and that's what we will discuss together, because there is one thing that nobody is talking about that will change completely how you should take your choice when it comes to altcoins, because it's true. You can do 1000x, 100x, but you have to take in account this thing. What we will do together is understanding why this trend is happening now. What are the drivers that can change literally the path of this trend and how long it can last? So stay tuned. Before to start, guys, let me say that this channel is about educational content. Nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's fine, but always your research before. And guys, don't forget to check out our newsletter. It is a weekly newsletter where you go through different topics. You can find it, the link into the description below. Plus also our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We are trying to cover all the different channels with new contents and new insights. And guys, please also help us with a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's something that is so useful for the algorithm. And finally, before to start, guys, let me say, share with me what is your ideas about artificial intelligence and cryptos. Is there any project you prefer? Let me know it in the comment section below. I want to start from the numbers. As you can see, it is undeniable that the price of the artificial intelligence token has been literally exploding. In this case, we have the chart of the Singularity Net token that has gone up in not even a month by around 14x. So really an insane pump. And it is mainly due to ChatGPT. Just to give you an idea on how big is the hype of ChatGPT, look at this chart. I'm using Google Trend in this case. We try to compare in the last couple of years how the artificial intelligence trend has gone compared to ChatGPT. So let's write just here ChatGPT and look at, oh my God, it is unbelievable how big is the difference. And I want to just show you another thing, just to give you a broader view. Let's do a comparison with crypto. So artificial intelligence and crypto. As you can see, starting from 2020, crypto has been literally going crazy, and it looks like a similar situation to what happened with ChatGPT. But look at what happens if we add to this query also ChatGPT. Let's do that. And the result is unbelievable. Look at the spike here. Starting from November, it has been growing at a speed that we never seen, neither with crypto when we were just going to 60K with Bitcoin. ChatGPT is simply doing numbers that we have never seen into the crypto space. And I want to stop a second here, because this is something that is really important to understand. Why now? Why ChatGPT is bringing so much attention to the artificial intelligence space, even if the artificial intelligence is not something new. We all know that Alexa, Siri, they are all using the artificial intelligence. But why? Nobody was caring about that. Or at the same time, it has been years that Amazon is using the artificial intelligence to suggest you which product you should buy, or also Spotify, Netflix, all of them are using the artificial intelligence, or Facebook and so on. But why now? The point is that we have to remember that in order to succeed at something, it's not about the technology itself. It is about how people are perceiving. And what was missing was the kind of wow effect that is pushing all of us to say, oh my God, the kind of sci-fi movies that we were seeing until a moment ago are becoming reality. Because that's the kind of situation that we are right now. It's not really about the technology. It's that finally, worldwide speaking, all the people are starting to see that the artificial intelligence can literally become able to interact with humans, because that's the power with ChatGPT. We can start talking like talking with a real person. Obviously, we are just talking about the beginning of the journey, but that's something that will change literally everything. And I want to show you the proofs why this trend is here to stay and has just begun, and the kind of impact that it can have into our lives is so big that can bring also from the crypto space a kind of growth that will be much bigger than what we have seen until now. And the reason is quite simply to understand. Look at this chart. This chart here is showing us how the systems have been evolving in the last couple of years. And this is a chart is starting from the the 1960 until now. As you can see, our ability, our computational power has been growing in a way that is exponential. And the same is something that is also Microsoft showing us into this chart. Look at the growth. And what is missing in this chart is GPT-3 and GPT-4. As you can see, here is GPT-2. GPT-3 would be something like here, and GPT-4 even something bigger like here. And just to give an idea, it's not just about GPT-4. The point is that the computational power, so the hardware that we are having right now available, well, it's not the same hardware that we had into the past. So right now, what into the past was just something that we can imagine. Right now, it's possible because the kind of technology that we have is finally what is needed. And that's the reason why this revolution has just started. And it's not just about ChatGPT. All the big corporations, when it comes to tech, are investing heavily into this topic. We have seen Microsoft investing on OpenAI. We have seen Google releasing a Lambda that is the equivalent of GPT-3, 4, and so on. We have Tesla that with Elon Musk is investing into this topic. We have Meta. We have all the big corporations are going into the same directions. So what we can expect is that the base layer will be every day more solid. And imagine what we can build on top of that, because the reality is that we can use this technology to build different kind of applications dedicated maybe to the financial ecosystem, to the health ecosystem, to the supply chain, to the marketing, to any kind of industry. We can build something, specific services that are using this underlying technology and can make something that was completely unpredictable until a couple of years ago. And what this will bring is that kind of wow effect that we have seen for the first time right now with ChatGPT. What we can expect into the next future is to see more applications that are generating this kind of wow effect. And in the moment when this kind of wow effect is happening, well, the result is that all the people are starting to be interested into a specific topic, because all the people are starting to think, oh my God, I'm understanding of the artificial intelligence. That's something that will change the world. That's the future. And imagine what happens in the moment when people are thinking that this is the future. They are starting to buy for the simple reason that they are betting that in the future, that kind of asset will have a value that is much higher. And that's the reason why after the ChatGPT story, we have seen this big pump into the price of all the different tokens when it comes to artificial intelligence. And to make the scenario even more juicy, there is another thing. Guess what big institution and big whales will do? Well, they know that in the moment when something is hyped, well, people will start buying it, so they can anticipate, so they can accumulate tokens at a cheaper price in order to wait the big wave that is coming. So I don't expect that the trend about artificial intelligence will end. In my opinion, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we are talking about a trend that can last for the whole next bull run. Something like what happened with the NFT and the metaverse. I will do in the next couple of days another video trying to predict what could be a target price for the different tokens when it comes to artificial intelligence and how to spot the next big 100x, 1000x, because yes, it is possible that we can see this kind of pump into the price of these projects. Even if, because there is a big problem, that is a reality, and many people are already talking about that. They are saying, yes, the reality is that these projects cannot sustain this kind of growth. And in a certain way, they are right, because it is true that most of them, from the technology point of view, from the adoption point of view, they are still lacking. The reality is that when it comes to SingularityNet, Fetch, Numerai, or whatever it is, the project that we are talking about, also the Graph, that is a project I really like that, but the reality is that nobody, or almost, is using that protocol. So it is like literally a cathedral in the middle of the desert. That's the kind of reality. It's beautiful. The kind of concept behind that protocol, behind that project, it is something that is amazing, and I love that. But we need to be aware that in this moment, we are talking about projects that don't have traction. They don't have a user base. So what they are saying, many people, is that due to this limitation, this kind of pumps are not sustainable because we have done a 14x without reason. What I want to say is that, yes, it's true from one side, but it's completely false on the other side. The reality is that markets could be completely irrational for much longer than what we can expect. So obviously, in the long term, if we are talking about years, let's say 5 years, yes, this kind of growth without a real adoption is not sustainable. If these projects will not be able to build something that people want to use, well, they will die, demol. That's something there is no way out. So be aware that, yes, I believe that this topic, even if the fundamentals of these projects are quite weak, they can grow a lot. But on the other side, be aware that this kind of trend can't last forever. And don't accumulate just thinking that in the next 10 years, these projects will be the best project when it comes to artificial intelligence. Nope. When it comes to artificial intelligence and these tokens, they are to be considered like a bet, because as you check the chart, look at which kind of insane volatility we have here. We had this insane pump, and even right now that we have going up by 14x, we are still below the numbers that we had into the previous bull run. And this kind of pump and dump are something that we have seen many times. If you think about the metaverse, it is the same story, or better, it was the same story into the previous bull run. The kind of fundamentals, the kind of traction was still quite low, or at least it wasn't big enough to justify the kind of pump that we have seen into the price of all the NFTs and metaverse tokens in the last bull run. But it happened anyway, and every time that we were thinking, okay, it is come to an end because we have gone too high, another wave were coming. Why? Because people were betting that in the future that could be a big topic. And this is how markets are going. It's just about following the trend, understanding that could be a hot topic, and don't accumulate for the long run, but just try to follow the trend and take advantage from this kind of situation. And in the moment when you are seeing that the trend is not in your favor, it's time to sell, guys. Take profit. Don't just keep open the position just because you are thinking that it will go up by 100x. The reality is that, as we have seen in all of these projects, is that this kind of pump and dumps are normal. And going down by 90%, it's a possibility. And don't say that the project will die after that dump. Maybe it can pump again. But you never know what will be the next big project that will grow in an insane way into this topic. The reality is that with any probability, artificial intelligence will be a big topic. But it's also possible that these projects will die and new projects will be able to grow and make the 100, 1000 exit we are all looking for. So be aware of that, take the opportunity, follow the trend, and in the moment when the trend is not anymore in your favor, guys, it's time to go out and wait for a reversal. And what you can try to do in the meantime when you are waiting for the next big wave is looking for other big projects, because the reality is that the whole industry is growing. As you can see in the last 24 hours, just this list on CoinGecko has gone up by 20%. In 24 hours, even if Bitcoin is just going sideways. Well, it is simply because people are getting interested into the topic, as we have seen here, and expect this trend to keep going. Don't fall in love with projects that they don't have traction. Fall in love with the topic, because this topic can bring you a lot of money. Guys, let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you have any projects that you believe that could literally grow a lot, because obviously right now new projects will come, and these projects, the earlier you are able to spot them, well, the more money you can do. Let me know it in the comment section. Don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.